Hey everybody, hope you had a great weekend. And yes, I couldn't get to Vids Friday. I had some fun Thursday, Friday, especially with like our internet here is terrible. We've got a new internet set up. That was about a 6-hour job, especially on Friday. It was like 3 hours across Thursday and 3 hours Friday. Roof panels off to get a new cable through to hook up the new dish to the new modem. And we are, fingers crossed, got serviceable internet now, which we haven't had for a while. That being said, so catch-up time now this week. As you can tell, I love solving all my fun tech issues one at a time. We get there. Right, so yeah, apologies, been running a bit late getting back to this one since the wax temperature debate wrapped up testing on that open test machine. But yeah, I've been just waylaid with like everything. So, but we should have a strong push between now and Christmas, hopefully. So time to vote the next test to go on the open test machine. There's been a couple of extra additions to the list, but not too much really from the last time. Probably the main notable one would be the Squirt Immersive Wax, and obviously we've got the new Cyclo-Wax Race Wax. However, I would suggest at this stage, because both are, like the Cyclo-Wax is here and should be starting private testing on that soon. Squirt Wax, I've got to chase up because that was supposed to be here by now, but that should also be in for private testing as well. And, you know, whilst a private test, the results aren't open until they say they're open, and they normally will only obviously say, yes, go open and do a full detail review if the testing results go awesome. Because if the testing results don't go as well as they hope, they don't want those results public. So that's obviously just how, private tests go. That's why they book them in to be private and double check. That being said, I know how much work Squirt have done over the last few years with their development and testing for their immersive wax, and same for Cyclo-Wax, who have been going extremely hard on this their latest blends, especially this race wax. So it would be basically a shock if the results didn't come out extremely well. Something would have had to have gone weird with the production product that we've got versus the smaller batch runs that they do for samples and testing. So yeah, barring anything odd happening with them pressing go on production and the production product that we have, I would fully expect that their testing comes out very competitive and it's a open result at the end of testing where they're like, yep, that's Bonza, full detail review, please, let's go. Right, so now that we've done the great wax temperature debate, in view of, instead of necessarily just adding, say, one more lubricant to the main test data table, as awesome as that always is, adding to the more groovy knowledge base, I think would be something, if I got to vote, that would be more my preference. So without trying to lead the votes too much, but I think either the wax drip plus immersive wax combo, so just how close to immersive waxing all the time, does the hybrid or combo approach get us? I think, we already know that it's great. We already know that it gets you a pretty decent amount, in the ballpark of immersive waxing all the time. But how close does it get? So just actually getting that done and getting some sort of numbers to it versus, because we have quite a number of immersive waxes tested now. So I think that would be a really good one to just actually get done and see where that comes out. The other one, of course, being the chain maintenance test. So that would be, we could pick a extremely sort of well-used lubricant around the world. So probably the Finish Line Dry that we also recently used for the counterfeit chain test collaboration with Escape Collective. So we've already got some recent good data on both an Integra and Dura-Ace chain with Finish Line Dry just through the normal ZFC main test protocol. So we could add to that, say, we'll pick one of out of a few options with, say, an on-bike chain maintenance. So be that like at a basic level, we would do, say, either a degreaser spray or a brush-on degreaser, like how the sort of the pro mechanics would do in the pro teams before all the pro teams got smart and went waxing. So you'd see them there with an open container of degreaser or solvent, brushing that on with a paintbrush, running it through, wiping it, clean with a cloth, and then basically off they go, reset the chain for the next day. So either that or, an actual sort of pressurized degreaser spray. Then we could also do a clip-on chain cleaner, see if they can do a better job, and we'll pick the right degreaser or solvent to use with that. The third one would be off-bike, so container solvent flush cleans, and we'll decide how many mils or how many bars we want to do to have that as the sort of the next third high level of chain maintenance. And the last one would be ultrasonic. So if we go the whole hog and ultrasonic clean, just how much chain wear does that save us? So getting those main, so probably 4 main chain maintenance, tests done, and see at the end of that we'll be able to put quite a good sort of, I guess, time and cost versus wear savings, correlation together, and probably pick for those that are using wet lubricants and so on, what's really the most efficient and cost-effective path to keep things from becoming too abrasive and too high a wear. And so, yeah, if that one does get voted in, I'll probably just put up some options on that to just nail down. So how often through the main test, and that'll probably change between, or be different between the clean blocks and the contamination blocks. So how often are we going to perform that maintenance? And yeah, exactly which options for a couple of those, and what solvents or degreaser, that sort of stuff. And yeah, I think either one of those two, great knowledge generation sort of test paths would be pretty groovy to finally get done. But the world is your oyster. So let's have a look at the voting chart. So again, not too many changes from last time. And again, like I always do get requests coming in all the time for this, that, and the other. And please always send them through. Or please feel free to add them in the comments, because if a particular product does get enough mentions, then it can make the list, but I can't add everything to the vote list or it just gets pretty crazy. So we do need to have a minimum interest level for it to even make the list, and then after that it needs to get voted in. So yeah, just vote by, same as always, just pop a comment as to what your voted test would be. And then on Friday, probably Friday morning, before I get to hopefully the main video this week, I will tally them all up, and all going normally by close of business Friday, I will announce which is the next open test.